I fixed the original. You can send me a DM or it's in the comments. Yeah, I don't know. I made some changes the other day. I was trying to allow it to just let people in where I don't have to admit anybody. But I guess somehow I messed up something to where now it's asking for the password too. So that didn't help. You're muted, bro.
I turned on.
Yep, you're
I'm,
good.
I'm trying to turn on my microphone. I turned the camera off. Needed some red snapper.
No worries, no worries. I'm gonna try to fix this real quick while we're waiting anyways.
The link you got on top of the live is wrong. Do you want to shut down this video and start over?
It'll get fixed. That's what I'm doing right now.
You can edit it while you're live.
Hmm.
Oh, good. Good. You get my cup of coffee and we go from there.
No worries. All right, let's see. I think that might fix it. All right, let's see. What's the Zoom? Hold
How was your
on.
January? My
So
January was amazing, absolutely amazing. Can y'all hear
didn't
me?
even. Yeah, now I can. Trying to. All right, so you got in without the password. All right, perfect.
Yeah,
I
I just
fixed
clicked
it.
on that link.
Oh, you clicked on the one I posted in the comments, maybe?
Yeah, I clicked on the one in the comments and it brought me right in.
Okay, so that's the right one. Let me get it then. I thought I fixed it for a second.
What Tony? What's up, Tony? Oh, Tony left.
Yeah,
Man,
he
I'm
was
here.
gonna
I'm
go get.
here. I'm here.
That's
I'm
the
coming.
thing.
I only came for Tony. I wanted some holy fries. What's the holy fry?
I got holy fry.
Congratulations, man. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it, bro.
Proud of you. We getting ready to leave in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Forgot about the reset. Did you reset? Did you check on the reset about the see if it was reset?
What was that?
The one that got the XR yesterday.
There we go.
Yeah, I
Oh,
I broke the Zoom.
that's about right.
All right. Let's see.
Hello.
Hi, Ben.
Josh, you look like an old man trying to figure out something.
Well, I'm like trying to read all the different settings. I think I've got it, but I think you might be right. I think it's gonna have to be like the next time the meeting like restarts, it'll be fine. So
Yeah.
I'll mess with it after this. So I think I fixed it.
All right, cool.
Yep. That's what I get for trying to mess with the settings, you know?
Ben, what are you driving?
Driving my Cabrio.
Oh, okay. I don't know it's convertible.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna pull over in a second and put the top up so I can hear better.
All right. I think I've edited the proper link now on the other post. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh, my bad, Josh. Was this invite only? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bombard.
No, 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 no,
No,
no.
man,
I broke the link. So you joined the right link, and that's why I was asking which link you used. But the another one I posted earlier, was
The
wrong
one in the
because
actual Facebook event was wrong.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't want people. We don't want people from Savannah, Georgia.
Oh man,
We don't want nobody from the South.
Oh,
you further south than me. What you talking about?
I know, right?
true,
Well,
very
I'm north.
true.
I'm north of Haiti, bro. I'm north of the Caribbeans. Yeah, we getting the South. The South ain't no South no more, bro. This is New York right
I
now.
know, right?
We getting this Pennsylvania people, Ohio, New York, bro. I'm like,
hold
Nah,
up.
we getting snow. Like, what's going on with that? We
for
getting snow.
real.
We making snowman in the south.
I was talking to one of my buddies just now, and I'm like, bro, there's so much traffic, more than there's money in the stores. Like, we're not making money, but there's just so many people. It's like bumper to bumper, man. Like the whole city is like this. It's been like this for a long time, and I'm getting tired of this shit.
Man, we literally just had like 3 people in here. Everybody want to sell phones. They got
Wow.
bro, 13 Pro Max, 14 Pros, 15. I mean, I've I've been in this business long enough to know that there's seasons. You got to know what season you in, and you got to know what you need to be doing in each season. So this
Yep.
is the season where, oh, it's slow in the store. Yeah, it's slow in the store. If you don't have anything else going on, if you're not doing the buybacks, if you're not, selling phones, if you ain't got all that other stuff going on, of course it's gonna be slow because repairs is always slow this time of year. Never fails.
Yep.
Never fails. But I mean, I'm used to the routine now. So come December, stock up. We have a good December. Then January come, that's when those buyback ads start kicking in. Everybody want to get some extra money to last them until tax season, so they selling all of the old stuff that they replace the new stuff with, and the cycle continues. So
Yep. Yep.
I hope you're recording this. I'm not gonna take over
I am.
the.
No, we're good.
I want to take over. I just want to throw my 2 cents in before it's too. Well, I always miss these, so I try to jump in
Yeah,
before I get too busy.
no, that's
You're
what they're
right.
here
You're
for.
right.
Everybody,
That's the right
everybody to
time to buy
speak.
back. The right time to buy back is when people are broke and people got bills to pay. And that's when you undercut the prices. And then that's when you sell them. Like you said, a very good, valuable point. You said, get rid of your old stock, replace it with new stock at a
Exactly.
lower rate. You know what I mean? That's how I tell people. A lot of my franchisees, they go like, hey, man, January came in, but we didn't make profit, but we did good. I said, let me see how much you bought back. And they were like, we literally tripled the amounts we did December. And I said, watch what's going to happen February, where your profit is going to be 3 times more than usual.
Yep.
So it's a
Absolutely.
cycle that keeps going.
Yep. And once you get used to the cycle, you start making more conscious choices throughout the year.
Yep.
It's the wise man would be a fool. I mean, a fool would be ridiculous. You'd be a fool to not store up for the winter when you know
Yep.
the winter's coming. So it's just you live and you learn in this industry.
Yep.
And if with buybacks, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how many of y'all use RTO, but when we have like buybacks and stuff, and we finance those phones out, we love doing in-house financing on phones that we bought back and repurposed or rebuilt because the profit margins on them is ridiculous.
Question
We
for you. Hold
uh
that
huh.
thought. RTO. Speak about it. It did not convince me.
So I'm gonna tell you why I love it so much because number one, it creates like recurring income real easily, especially on cheaper devices. iPhone XR, pay $50 for it, slap a screen on there, customer will finance it. Out here, they'll finance it at $249. Anytime they want to finance something, we always add a $100 financing fee on top of it. And if they pay it off within the 60 days, they don't have to pay any extra interest. They just pay that $100 financing fee. Most people, they'll just keep paying until the end of the contract. So a phone that they bought that they paid, basically $349 for, and we tell them this up front. We tell them, hey, if you wait until after the 60 days, you're gonna end up paying double for the phone. They sign the contract, all that good stuff.
So
So if
for the people that don't understand what RTO is a financing company that does financing on the risk of the business owner. So the way it works, the customer comes in, they get approved. Almost 100% of the people do. They pay a high down payment, which what Chris is saying is they'll end up paying the cost of the phone, literally. Like if the phone costed you 100, they're gonna pay you 100, and they're gonna make payments to you as the store owners along the way. Now,
Correct.
here's two factors that are not. I can't get over. One is, what if the customer doesn't pay? Which, I mean, you're in a very, in an area where people could break their phones in the following day, and then what if they don't pay, Chris? What happens then?
I'm glad you asked. Hold on just 1 second.
It just never I was never able to absorb that information. I met the
All right, so
yeah, go ahead.
anytime I finance a device, I don't finance a device if I'm not gonna make my money back after the at least the third or fourth payment. So most people they're gonna I I haven't had maybe a couple of customers, but out of probably like almost 100 contracts, less than 10% of those don't last, 3 or 4 payments. So let's say I have an iPhone XR, I have $75 invested into it. If I in-house finance it, I make sure that the down payment and the next, 2 to 3 payments at least will cover what I have into the phone. So after that, it's all profit for me. I'm just making money over and
Fair
over and over.
enough. The $1 million question: what if they just take the phone and never come back the following month? What happens then?
So the phone will lock up, and all it can do is call you. It has a standard, MDM lock. That's what you have to do. You'll
Ah,
put the lock on the phone, and if they don't make the payment, then the phone will lock up. Then if they have to make the payment, once you process their payment, it'll unlock the phone. I had one person turn it into Eco ATM. Eco ATM called me. They said, "Hey, we got your phone." They sent it to me. I sold it again and made more money off of it, double. So, and the funny thing is that I had 2 more payments left, and it would have been paid off. He had 2 more payments left.
so the $1 million question is: do these people actually? Do you ever call them to come? Like, okay, so I'm just trying to get over the fact that
Nope.
that you are taking the risk. So versus coming from a industry where the financing companies pays you in 24 hours. In my opinion,
Well,
go ahead.
go ahead. When you do it the way I do it, there's very minimal risk because I've already made my money back on the down payment. We finance so many XRs and 11s, it's ridiculous. We finance so many. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So the down payment they pay you up front, right then and there, correct?
correct. They pay the down payment up front. And to take it a step further, the reason we do it is because some people they want to get service as well. So we have the opportunity to sell them service. We get activation fee. So it may look like you only getting, hey, I financed the phone. Yeah, I financed the phone, but I also sold them a case. I also gave them service. And I also helped the customer. That's the main thing, right? What I've noticed is, we are not though we're not, we are big. All of
Yeah.
us are big in our own right. We are the new generation of technology industry leaders in technology, right? That's us. So other places, when we like most people, we actually care. Some people think, you know, some customers may think, oh, they giving me, they taking too long, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I believe that all of us we do our best to give the best service that we can provide to each one of our customers. And when they know that there's a place that they can come to, a lot of people don't have good credit. I mean, if we're being honest, this is a horrible economy. So people don't have good credit. People don't have money. They need help. And when they have imagine, it's no different than a rent center. You get what I'm saying? So we just run our own rent center company, something like that. But basically, when they have someplace they can go to and somebody will genuinely help them, they come back. I've had customers finance phones from us trade that phone in to upgrade to another phone, and they're still in the contract. And even if they do get into the contract, I give them an option. I give them an option to you know what their payments would be, because you can choose that. You choose the option for their payments. Um, and if they ever miss a payment, they can always call. Hey, I'm a little short. Can I reschedule my pay? All of that stuff. They appreciate those things. And and at the end of the day, we have not lost money. We've done nothing but made money. I will say that the fees do get outrageous. So if you're not keeping the track, if you I'm just being completely honest, I love RTO, and I'm all for RTO. My only gripe that I've had with them just in the past is just make sure you understand all of the fees that come with it, because there are fees that are associated with managing the contract. So if somebody cancels, um or if somebody reschedules a contract, it charges to reschedule the contract. So that's why we let the customer know up front, hey, if you need to reschedule your contract, or if you want to reschedule your payment, it's gonna cost XYZ. And we'll just add it to the back end of the loan, or we'll just take a payment from them like that. But in most cases, we just work with the customer, to help them out, pretty much. But I would say just keep an eye on those fees, because I think it's like $20 when you start a contract, and as every time the contract comes due, obviously they take portion of the payment that the customer makes. It's not a big portion, but it's a small portion. I'm good. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
they give you a copy of customers like credit report or anything like that for you to make your decision off of, like, if you want to finance to them?
So, and that's the thing. You have the option to, if
Did we lose audio?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we lost him.
we
Yeah,
can't
I
hear
Yeah.
you.
can't hear him.
Amino cannot hear you. No service in Savannah, Georgia. Fix your
all right, can y'all hear me?
microphone.
There we
I
Yes.
go.
hear you now. There you go.
Hold on.
Come
No,
on, man. You can't have a bad microphone and you work at
no.
a cell phone store.
Tony was gonna spaz out. He was gonna spaz out. I can't hear you. Stop talking. Stop talking. Um, no, but that's all up to you. Obviously, they bring the ID. You put all the information into the system. Um, you'll provision the phone prior to putting it out for sale. That's another thing. When we buy phones, I'll go ahead and provision them so the lock is already on there in case one like come up missing or something like that. But that
Mm.
doesn't happen. But that is an option if you want to do that. But yeah, it's all up to you. You can say, hey, I want to see 3 months bank statement. It's all on. That's another thing. It gives you the freedom to approve who you want to approve. So after you've exhausted all your other options, and this nice recurring customer, single mom with 3 kids comes in, and like she always come to get stuff fixed, and she done went through ASEMA, she went through Payvantage, she went through whoever else, and now you're like, well, man, nobody approved you, but she got 500, she got $200 right there in front of her, like, and you like, you know what, and you got an XR that you just want $100 down, and you like, you know what, hey, I'll get you $100 down. We do $75 down on XRs. So hey, you know what? You get $75 down. Your payments will be 25 to $30 every. You can do every 2 weeks, or you can do every week. Me personally, I like that method because it almost guarantees this. This is the logic behind it. I would rather have a customer put down a $75 payment, and let them say, you know what, I can afford $25 every 2 weeks. You get 10 people paying you $25 every 2 weeks. That's payroll. Like, you get what I'm saying? So for me, that portion of the business was. I'm giving out too much sauce. Hold on. Oh, no, hold on, no, hold on.
You
No, I'm
gotta
giving
start
out too.
selling a course, man.
No, all right. So listen, if y'all really want to know the sauce and how I really be doing this, I am on Monday tomorrow. I'm doing a class for one of my students. Somebody hired me to train his technician because he doesn't fix phones. So he was like, you know what, I need to hire you to, train my technician. So this first class is tomorrow. You want to sell a phone? All right. What? Go ahead and bring it to me. Let me see it. Um. So yeah. Yeah. If I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna do some one on ones too, because people always ask. They always be asking me this question, but behind just that was my logic behind doing that, because I mean cash flow, like it's easy. It's an easy sell, and like I said, you helping other people, and they appreciative of that, and those people gonna keep coming back. I guarantee you. If I wish I could pull up my RTO dashboard. Though at one time when I was real serious and I was pushing it real hard, my goal was to have 100 contracts. I wanted to have 100 contracts rolling, and I made it to like 60, 70. And then at that point, it was just the money was coming so fast, and I had so many phones out. Mind you, I had just learned the system. So once in my mind, I saw the logic behind what I wanted to do, and I put it into action, and all that stuff was coming in so fast. I didn't understand the fees, which came back and bit me in the butt. That's why I told y'all, make sure you understand how the fees work. And just stuff was I didn't know, hey, like what would happen. I had so many contracts rolling, and I didn't have nobody dedicated to manage those. I didn't have anybody dedicated to manage those contracts. So had I had somebody set to the side, an employee strictly for that, as opposed to my front desk person that's already doing 500 other things, like it would have been a smoother process. So that's what I would do different next time. But that's the sauce right there. I'm just letting y'all know. I don't want to take over. What time is it? I gotta go. I gotta go, y'all.
Thank you for the information. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it,
Thanks,
Chris.
Chris.
I mean, he said some really. So what keeps me going, and one of the things that a lot of people are surprised, like I sell phones, and why do I keep advising people to buy back from the streets? Because if you have a vendor on a call as a backup plan, and your main income is from the streets, you will see results, and you will see money. You're not going to be able to get the 15 Pro Maxes or the 14 Pro Maxes on a daily basis from buybacks. So that's why you have a vendor like us, for example, and that's when I plug myself in. When you have a vendor like GSM Warehouse to buy back from. But the low ends, he was talking about XRs for $75. And I didn't argue with him, because yes, you can get them for 75, you can get them for $40 off the streets. But from a wholesaler, they're like 140, 150. So you're literally making double the amount than if you would have bought it from a vendor, you know what I mean? And the reason why I keep stressing and talking about it is because possibly every time I talk, one out of those 100 people actually listens and implements and sees results. You know what I mean? So it does make a big difference. And Jason
Yeah.
seen some difference in January.
Yeah, man, it was fire.
Yeah, yeah. How's January for you?
It was good. We sold the most devices we've ever sold, and that's going to be a laughing number to most people, but we have not sold devices typically in store. We've been like 99% repair as far as our revenue mix for the most part. But I bought like 12 iPads on Black Friday because they were like $250 for the 10th gen. And typically, if people come into our store to buy a device, we can sell it at retail, if not higher than retail. So I knew that we'd be able to price it like 350 for anyone that brought in an iPad 7 and we quoted them CPU work and they needed a new iPad. Those are all the people that are like, I'm just going to go buy a new iPad. So we kept them all, and we just had somebody hit us up on Facebook Marketplace and came in and scooped them all up for $290. And so we were just happy making them like $40 a pop on each of them. We kept two of them because I wanted to sell two of them in store at retail, and we just sold our last one like 2 days ago. So it was funny that before this, I was always worried about like sitting on inventory for a really long time and it depreciating and all that stuff. But like we have the customers that are constantly asking us if we sell devices. We just never had them because we were scared to sit on inventory. And so we would always tell them like, no, we don't have it, but we can order it for you and get it for you like next day, and typically use like mobile centrics or something like that. But man, having devices in store has been amazing. 2 days ago, we sold two phones that, I thought we'd be sitting on forever. We sold an iPhone 12 for, what was it, Gianni? What do we sell the iPhone 12 for? Yeah. No, what did we sell the iPhone 12 for? Was it 499?
I don't know. I mean,
I think the 12 was like 499, and a 13 Pro Max for 549. So yeah, like pretty,
Love it.
yeah. So anyway, pretty decent prices, and these are just phones that we've had. I think I bought one from Aaron Harrington that he posted in the groups for like 250. The other one, I think our cost was like 300 on. So yeah, it was just nice to be able to have those devices when people walk in and needed something. And we started doing buybacks more too. We got two 14 Pro Maxes yesterday for like 350 for both of them. So yeah, just again, having these and having that opportunity when the customer is there and needs that device has been pretty awesome. So we're starting to stock up more on devices. Um, that was a decent chunk of our like revenue for earlier in the month, but the rest of the month was just pretty much all repairs, and we just have a we got a couple of really good relationships going with some newer T-Mobiles in our area, and they're sending us people like crazy, like three people a day. Um, you Break I Fix, we've been developing a relationship with them for a really long time, and a couple weeks ago they hopped on the phone with us and were like, "Hey, can we just outsource all of our HDMI and all of our iPad charge port repairs to you?" They own 5 stores, so they tested us with one device. We just got that one knocked out, and he's like, "All right, we're good to go. We're gonna start sending you stuff from all the other stores." So I think it was just a combination of that. We set goals as a team, told the team what the goals were, gave incentives, and they knocked it out. We had a goal of 30K originally for 30K for last month, and then 3 out of 4 of my techs got COVID, and so it really messed up things for a while. So I lowered that goal to 28, and by the end of the month, we're at $30,044. So we still made it by $44. So really,
Nice.
really great month for us. Typically we were sitting at around 25, so it was a super good, and I attribute that extra five to like the T-Mobile referrals and the device sales that we didn't otherwise typically do. So looking to see some more of that this month.
Before January, I mean, on an average of monthly, how many devices do you think you would have sold them before
I'd
that?
probably have to give you more of an annual average, because that's how rare it is. Like
10 phones a year,
maybe
huh?
a couple a year. Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
Like we just the buyback process, I'm still trying to get a good SOP down. And I know, Josh, you can plug yourself there if you want, but just having a good SOP for when you're not there to be able to have them purchase. And right now the SOP still is like they reach out to me just to confirm that what they're doing is right. But for the most part, like we are using UCell. I took a ton of tips from here, honestly, from these calls. So we're using UCell, which we did before, from Tony. Yeah. And we're using like all the BYOD sites to check the IMEIs. So just having that clear direction on like what to have your team do to kind of streamline that process is really, really important. Um, and yeah, so as far as like device sales, it was non-existent before this. It was a couple a year, just because we didn't have them in stock. It would be those people who were just they really liked us and they were willing to wait an extra couple days to receive that device because we were going to order it from somewhere and test it and do all that. So yeah, we got on board with ASEMA, but I'm hearing like most people don't get approved through ASEMA, so I'm like,
They do.
yeah.
It's they do. It depends on the area, man. They have a 1 through 5 tiers, and they'll start you at 5, and they start dropping you. Like I have a really good relationship with a lot of the sales reps of Acima. Like I send them so much business from store owners, and we also use it in our stores. They just shut down one of my stores 4 days ago due to a lack of payment back. So they said it's a 0 out of 5.
Oh wow.
But I mean, it's the area, man. That's why we don't use only one finance company. I mean, we would use PayVantage, Acima, America's First Finance. Some people use Progressive or Smart Pay or things like that.
Is anyone using one that finances repairs also? Because like I would love to get one that is appropriate for like data recoveries because we quote a lot for data recoveries between like 500 to 1200. And a lot of times like that's a turnoff. They just like
I
don't
think
have the money,
America's
but they
First
want to get it
Finance
done.
does allow
Okay.
I
you
th I
repairs.
think a SEMA even maybe if you talk to them, right? Like
It's a
I
certain
think
percentage.
yeah, or and I know PayVantage does. I know PayVantage at least covers repairs, so they used to. I don't know if anything's switched since then.
There's another one
Um
that's partnered with Brian's company. I forget what the name of his company is, but they're partnered with like everyone that's the repair association, whatever it
That
is.
one's Olympus.
Olympus Lending.
Yeah,
Olympus.
That sounds
Olympus
right.
Lending is a B2B. It's mainly at one point they did try to do B2C, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that program actually ever launched. But they're more of like we use them for our customers. Like they would get approved $5,000, $10,000. They would buy devices through GSM Warehouse, and you as a vendor or a store owner pays them back. So it's more of a B2B type of thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Uh, Somebody had a question actually for Tony. How many phones do you think a month a successful store should sell?
As many as you can.
Um, I
It's a loaded
Good
question.
question.
Right.
I would think probably like a really really good store, probably would do between 150 to 200 devices a month. Yeah. No, I mean based on my store numbers, I'm talking about. A medium store would probably be doing about a maybe 85 to 120, and to be very low, you're probably at. So my lowest location currently is probably doing about 55 to 65 a month. You know what I mean? And that is due to the fact that there's a very heavy competitor across the street, and he's an owner operator. But at one point of time, I had the right person in that store for 5 months, and I gave him more of like a share. We were planning to sell it as a franchise, and that store, true numbers, true story. That store went from doing $16,000 in sales a month to
The
forty-two
90. Oh,
thousand
okay.
dollars to $42,000 in a month within 2 months or 3 months. So it went literally from 16 to 42. It went from making 1,000 or two profit to making 17,000 profit a month. So we have the blueprint. It just, I always say it's owner operator, man. It's owner operator. If they really follow that blueprint, one of the guys we met in at the GRE or AWPE in Vegas, he came from New Jersey, and he bought a store. He bought a Celtic store. He's in the group. And now, I mean, the store is doing 45 and 47,000 a month. When he took over back in October or November, it was doing 20, 21. So he doubled the numbers, and he does not. He's more like you, Jason, where he came from a background where only repairs. So he's just now like trying to learn how the buyback game and the device game. But I can guarantee you, if he follows these instructions, that's an $80,000 store a month, guaranteed. So like I said, weak stores 55 to 65, middle stores 90 to 120, good stores 150 to 200 devices a month.
How's it going, guys?
Hey,
Yo.
I just wanted to jump in here and say a few things. Those are insane numbers, Tony. Insane numbers. I love them, though. So I've been in this industry for about 12 years now, and we average about 50 to 70 phones a month, really depending on the month. Most independent cell phone stores do not do 100 phones a month. All right? That does not happen. I don't even think they're doing 60 phones a month. All right. Realistically. I think one of the major or biggest issues in this industry with cell phone store owners is they're not running their numbers. They're not running profit and loss statements. They are not running, they're not running their business properly. And I say that because once you do start running your numbers, and I mean really running numbers, understanding what it costs to be in your, understanding all of that, paying yourself and making sure the business, the entity itself is having a profit at the end of the, I'm saying all this because I've been looking at a bunch of different stores to purchase and none of these people have their shit together. Anyways, while I'm in these group chats, I see a lot of store owners complaining about this and that, and I read this stuff. I'm like, you should not be in business. You're not a business owner. You know, you're complaining like a bitch, and there's no time for that. We have money to make. There's a lot of posts that I see. I'm like, you're not an owner.
Yeah,
You
most
you
are
have to
self-employed.
reposition yourself
Yeah, they're just employee
because
mentality, you know?
yeah, we're here to flip and make. We're here to have inventory. My store, I have phones, I have cases, I have inventory because I want to make income. Um, a lot of cell phone stores out there, especially in the groups I see, they don't have inventory. They're not selling phones. They're not pushing prepaid services. We're a full service store. So we're doing everything. You know, I'm knocking out repairs right now. You know, my guys, we're getting things done. And I just want to chime in and say that I think a lot of the businesses, they need to run their numbers and understand, number one, what it costs for them to be alive, you know, as an individual, so they know what they need to be bringing in their business just to survive. It honestly breaks my heart when I see some business owners complaining about not making enough, you know, to feed their family or to do this and that. I'm like, wait a second. This this place right here is my baby. It has created so much for me. You know what I mean? Like it's funded my accounts, this, that, investments, all types of stuff. So I'm reading these other people's posts. I'm like, hey, guys, you guys have to take a step back and reorganize. If you don't have an accountant, you don't do bookkeeping, you should get one because everything is going to be in the numbers. Everything is right there. But a lot of people don't know how to read their numbers because they were not taught how to do those things. And I think that's one of the major issues in this industry. You know, I have a lot of stores. You know, I'm in Miami, so I'm in a saturated area, and there's about 8 stores around me.
Welcome
I'm
to
not
Florida.
complaining. I'm all right. But the other stores around me, they may not be doing as fine, and it's for a number of different reasons. You know, some stores don't even give receipts. No receipt. You can laugh, but a lot of them don't give receipts, and they wonder why they're
That no, I'm laughed
experiencing
because that was me like 4 years ago.
they wonder why they're experiencing some issues. Um, so I think a lot of this stuff goes back to the basics and understanding business fundamentals first. I always try to tell people before you get in this industry, you need to understand what it costs to be yourself. So if it costs to be 4, 5, 6K a month, whatever it is, even if it's $2,000 a month, you need to make sure that you can earn that plus way more to cover your expenses. So I think any business that is struggling in this industry, what they need to do, number one, is take a look at the numbers, understand what it costs to be in this industry and what it costs to be in business, and to ensure you can make those numbers, make them work. And if they're not working, then you have to adjust, and make it work. Even advertising, you know, like you have a store, you're not doing no ads, you're insane. It's not adding up. And you listen, you sell 50 phones a month, you can make a lot of money depending on what you're doing in your business. You know, you're selling 50 phones a month, plus you're selling prepaid services, you're selling accessories, you're doing phone repairs, like you're that's good money in my opinion, depending on how you're running your shop. I just want to jump in and say that because I tell you now, a lot of phone stores are not doing 50 phones a month. They're not doing 20 phones a month. You know, they're not even pulling in 20K a month. And I'm like, what?
I
It's
think
so
I think a
strange to
lot
me.
of what I see is like people you either come from one or two backgrounds, and it's either like they owned a cell phone store that sold devices and then they tried to get into repairs, or they started from absolutely nothing and they learned how to fix their own phone on YouTube and then they started fixing it for friends and family here and there and then opened up a business or like started a business, but really don't know how to sell, don't know, they don't want to sit on inventory because, phone repair is such a it's such a low cost business. You know, you need a couple screens here and there, a couple screwdrivers, and you're good to go. And that's how things started, you know, like 10 years ago. And so it's rare that people like want to invest in inventory, or they don't have the money to invest in inventory. So they're just kind of flying by the seat of their pants. And so
Unreal. I don't
they're
mean to
still
cut you there,
living.
but speaking of 10
No, it's
years
fine.
ago, you had the source item 10 years ago. We didn't have
Yeah.
mobile centrics. Mobile
Right.
centrics is God sent, in my opinion.
Hmm.
You can literally go online, find every part you're looking for, and it can be at your door the next day. Even
Yeah.
when people complain, oh, my shipment didn't come in, shut the fuck up. Are you out of your mind? You know, people
Yeah.
had to go through to look for parts back in the day. Like, bro, I have the things I have here because I used to hoard stuff. I buy back devices because we used to pull parts like out
Yeah.
the ass. I used to sell parts on eBay, all types of stuff because I'm trying to be in business. I need to make sure a customer walks in there, I can do their repair.
Hey Dex, I just checked one of my stores. I just checked one of my stores to feel more comfortable about the numbers that I said. Today's February the 7th, and it's a slow ass season. They already at
Everyone
35.
sucks.
They already at 35 devices.
Oh, that's
Wow.
really good.
That's really good. Yeah.
good. So,
5 devices a
by the way,
day.
Tony, your stores are the anomaly. All right, your stores are not the
I
average.
just wanted to feel better about the numbers that I said. I'm like, am I lying? Am I
No,
like
your stores are not the average.
Yeah,
Stuart,
Oh, you
Stuart
know
just
that.
fell out of his chair because of those numbers.
yeah. Yeah, with true numbers.
But quite simply, it's inventory, making sure you have inventory. Even, you know, there's stores that don't have the iPhone 11 screen. You know, they have to order. They're going to the supplier up the street to get it. I'm like, yo, that's insane.
Yeah, I hear that a
You
lot.
need to
They're
have
like, oh,
everything because my customer can't leave to go down the street to go get it fixed somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's really insane to me. But I think a lot of the shop owners do things to themselves because they're not prepared to be a business owner. And it's work. It's not simple. You know, you gotta be organized. You gotta have shit together, you know? But
yeah, it's
this
a lot
is
of things. Like
the
they're
industry
operating
is
at
easy.
low
In my
profit
opinion, this is an
margins.
easy industry. That's why I'm in it.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's easy
Honestly,
money,
like
but
very value. Like I feel you. That's how deep what you're saying is real. Like I feel it because
it's like if I want to move this, I have devices.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
You called Zipset computers?
I just buy a bunch of stuff because we buy back over here. We buy back a lot.
You called
shit.
These are all pull parts. People may think I'm crazy. I'll buy an iPhone 13 Pro Max, take that bitch apart, and make $600 from it. People don't get it, but I've been doing this a long time. I have earpieces for the iPhone 11. This is $59. I've had these for years because we used to, before the iCloud, you know, did the thing, we were doing a lot of things over here.
Hey, I still have iPhone
To
6
this
home
day-
buttons that were
to
selling
this
for
day,
79.
We still get money from these things.
Ooh,
So
Yeah.
the money's been made over and over and
Alright.
over off of one device. You know what I mean? But a lot of different store owners don't understand this. You know, they may not have the funds to do buybacks,
Yeah.
or certain things, but you have to build a reserve account because that's how you make money in this industry. Like there's so much opportunity. I don't think a lot of these store owners know it, but it's gonna be better for people like us because we're gonna go out there and take advantage. Like I said, I'm looking at these shops because I think there's a lot of pain coming, and I look at shops that I can try to take over, but no one has their numbers together. No one has their books together. It's insane. Even if you have the repair desk app or whatever you're using to track your sales, that's great. At least you have that. But whichever,
No repair,
I
no
use
repair
Salesforce. I've been
desk,
using them
no
for
repair
years.
desk.
But I only bring that up because even with that, you still have to understand your numbers, which are your expenses, and your expenses are not listed there. Inventory is one thing, but you have business expenses that are real, and you have to understand the cost. Anyways, I can go on and on because I wanted to jump on here because I see you guys all have a very similar way of thinking, and it surprises me that this place is not full with 200 people because people have so many problems in the chats, and I'm like,
They're
the
too
answers are right
busy.
here.
I'll tell you this: they're busy.
already
They're
tested
busy
that.
scrolling
Look at the notes
TikTok.
in
They're
Discord.
busy scrolling TikTok
I just
versus
did 4
learning.
repairs doing all. I'm about to knock out an A4.
And
That's another thing.
they're mad about their business being slow.
A14. There's some techs that don't fix Android devices, which is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you know what I make off of Androids?
$100
It's crazy.
Minimum.
Like,
per repair. Easy.
And
Easy.
here's the problem: like when they're complaining, and okay, so let me get this straight. If you're slow, that equals to a lot of free time, right? And free time equals you have time to watch this video. So what the fuck are you doing when it's slow?
You got time to market. You got time to do many things. But that's why I don't get it, because once we're slow in here, I'm going crazy. I'm yelling at my guys like, we got to do this, post here, post there.
I'm working on a ground marketing map right now because I'm slow.
It's really bad. You're going outside.
I've done it myself, bro. I held that sign myself. No shame in the game. I literally start calling people. I like, you go online, post ads, like the swiping on TikTok and the Facebook, that you're watching. Every time you grab your phone, post an ad. It's free. You're not losing.
Doesn't make sense. So I don't feel sorry for a lot of shop owners because, like I said, you're a business owner. It's on you. You have to survive, and I'm going to eat no matter what.
I think what happens is a lot of people they're just paying bills using this industry. They're not thinking outside the box, where they're not taking advantage of the cash flow that's coming in, and they're not spending it somewhere or investing it somewhere else.
Business?
So a lot of people just have this job just so they could say, I own a business. I used to work for Dex, and he used to pay me $150. Fuck him. I'm making $150, and now I own the business.
No. That's not a business owner. That's the confusion. That's the misconception when a lot of people think they're a business owner, but they're very confused.
100%.
Very confused.
I've also noticed that there's a max output of one technician. So if you're an owner operator,
last thing, it's numbers. You have to run your numbers. It's all right there. That's when you'll notice, hey, you know what? Things were bad last month. We have to switch things up. Or things were really bad in my personal life. We have to cut. But a lot of people don't understand that. I pay myself every Friday. And then at the end of the month, if we had a great month, I say, look.
Are you guys running buyback ad campaigns, or just repairs and just sales in the store?
No, we do buyback heavy here.
You guys run ads as well?
Like no, I haven't done ads on buybacks in a while. No,
Me neither.
So I'm in my.
Well, you don't need to buy back devices, Tony.
I mean, no.
His stores do. His stores do. Tony, I'm there with you. Trust me, I know.
Push them to buy back before buying from me. Remember, my 12 Pro Max cost $390. From John Doe, it's $120. So it's definitely high recommended for them to buy off the streets.
A lot of store owners, they don't know, they don't have the knowledge, and they don't have the balls to understand, hey, you can buy phones from people, you know that, and you can buy an iPhone 14 Pro Max for $100.
Wait, Dex. Maybe they're gonna say, oh my God, I don't want to cheat the guy. Maybe I should pay him what the market value is.
Listen.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of things in my life, okay? So even in real estate, if I'm contacting 1,000 people, whatever, and I ask them, hey, what do you want for your property? And they tell me an unbelievable number, it is not my responsibility to inform them anything.
Don't pitch pockets.
It's just not. Of course I'm not a piece of shit, but there's, even when customers walk in, like, hey, what would you like for this device? If they tell me a crazy number, here you go. What? And I only bring that up because buybacks is the game changer for the slow for me. All
Guys,
right?
you see what Floridian people are like? You see what am I dealing with in Florida? That's all my competitors. They're like this. That's how aggressive they are. So don't blame me for being aggressive. But
you have to be. So the month can be slow, maybe $30K that month. Very bad month for my store. Then I say, wait a second. I haven't sold my buybacks yet. and I sell my buybacks.
Yeah.
And it makes the world of a difference, the huge difference. And I mention that because a lot of stores are not doing buybacks. They're just not doing them. I have about 8 phones here ready to go to Apple because I gotta go trade them in and get my thing, whatever. Because I get devices from Apple as well. We have new devices in the store direct straight from Apple. Hey, where do you get the new device from? I traded in an iPhone 14 Pro Max I purchased for $200. Apple gave me I believe it's $550 right now. This is how, or $450 right now. This is how I go. Whatever device it is, it's just flipping over. I for me, I make a killing off buybacks. All right. I got 3 PS5s here, $350 each. I'm selling brand new PS5 for $450. How do you do that? Because that's the streets.
Dex, how many employees do you have?
I don't even know. It's just it's awesome.
Can you hear me?
You see, when someone see results in their business and they see a lot of money, that's how happy they can be. Like Dex. Look how tight his braids are. He gets them done daily. He makes money. And he likes what he does. So if you don't like what you do,
these are housings.
Look at that.
And I stack these a lot of housings for every device. I have them ready to go because you can't walk out of that door. You're not leaving that door unless it's you can't afford it or whatever. But
can we convert to your stores to self-fix, Dex? God damn.
It's not gonna be because we don't have the actual parts. A14. This is I want to say number 6 this week. We have these parts stocked up. Motorola parts stocked up. Why do you have Motorola parts? Why? Because I'm in Miami, and in my location, we have Metro, T-Mobile, Boost. We have all these. Everyone can't afford an iPhone. No. But these Android.
Dex, how many employees do you have?
2. Well, technically.
Just like me.
Who said just like me?
I said technically because.
Okay, so let me tell you this, Chris. Hold on. That tells you that you can do so much, Chris.
Oh, I'm doing 30K a month right now. I'm not worried about
with
my
devices and all.
No.
Oh, 30. I do 30 a month plus probably like an extra 5 to 7 in buybacks. Like buybacks are huge, and we make like 100 each phone, and that's if we don't part it out like Dex does, and if we don't trade it into Apple, and if we just sell wholesale.
By the way, 100 on a buyback is kind of low, depending on the device. And I say that because
quick flips.
Yeah,
it's a different mindset.
So those quick ones are the best. So if you're making it the next day, you buy your body, that's the best one. But my mind is always, I'm holding something for a little while. I want a little more. But
I don't hold though. I just wholesale every week. I have one guy I text and I send a package out every week.
And by the way, that simple process, these slow shops is what they should do because you can literally get cash the next day. And I don't understand how people don't get it. But 15 Pro purchased for $200. 512 gigs.
We don't care what the guy's going through. Maybe he want to pay his rent.
We had a 13 Pro Max AT&T. We purchased it about 4 months ago. I just threw it in the unlock check last week. Unlocked. We paid $250 for that phone. Now it's unlocked in my case for $799. And that's the way I can even have inventory in the shop for sale. All right, because
that's how I have my inventory.
Just buying inventory from a wholesaler, you can do sometimes, but it can be expensive. But when you're buying devices from doing buybacks, you'll always have devices for sale for your customers. And when you buy enough devices, you can also do some trading, so you can go get brand new devices for your customers. But because I've been watching Tony for a very long time. Easy industry, my opinion.
This is easy. All you have to do is have inventory in stock. That's the one thing that changed my business. Is one year I was just like, well, screw it. I'm sick of letting things go for like nothing, and I keep like $10,000 to $15,000 of stock like at any given time, just so I always have something to sell to somebody, whether it's a laptop, console, phone, whatever it is.
You're not leaving.
That's great. That's right, you're like my dad. My dad used
to
keep all
what's your
that
address
stuff in stock.
All right.
Only a couple hour drive.
That's fucking crazy. That's ridiculous.
Inventory is the name of the game.
Can I
I'll
introduce a
walk
new
out there with
topic
a
here?
few people here right now, but inventory is the name of the game. Inventory.
Android customers don't mind waiting. iPhone customers, they don't like to wait. I
No,
learned that one.
of course, that's why you gotta just have
Maybe
it.
Miami's different because you have a lot more competition than me. I don't have much competition for that
Yeah,
No,
for
I
my
don't
motorola
find that to be
Miami's
Samsung.
different
true.
because it's different.
Yeah.
Different levels, and not, like I said, everyone can afford an iPhone. All right, and they're giving a free phone away at Metro or whatever, the A14, 15, whatever. You gotta have those ready to go because they can't afford to buy a new phone, but they will fix it.
Yeah, I find that our Samsung customers also want it done same day. So if we don't have it in stock, then they're typically going somewhere else. And we'll
Samsung
try to
S
tell them.
series customers, yes. A
I
series
mean,
for me,
I
they
would
don't
I would
they don't
still
care.
say the majority, like we do get a lot of people that will wait for us next day or 2 days or whatever, but it all depends on the condition of the phone too. If it's like not usable, they need it done same day. If it has a crack in the screen, they could still use it, they'll wait a day or two. But
Oh, by the way, since I have you guys here, what do you guys do with these strings? Because I just tossed about.
You got good OLED crack glass.
No, I saved those. I got my China guy that comes through. I have all my good. That's a whole nother money maker right there. But look, I'm down the street from Chris, so he refurbishes my stuff. You know what I mean? I'm about to drop him off a liquid damage MacBook we just got here. That's another great thing about where I am because I have some things I can outsource some work to. We're technically tier level tech level two here. Anything micro soldering is not what I do. I keep my mind clear. But yeah, what do you guys do with your cracked screens? I have do we just toss these out?
we recycle them. I know they're
I
worth
throw
like
mine in a glass case and I display them for customers, and then they're amazed that I have 500 plus screens sitting in a glass case, and it promotes a ton of conversation. So I keep all my broken screens, and they just throw them in the glass case, and it's just a display at that point.
I sell them. Everything is for sale.
So that's why I was waiting. So, Tony,
A12,
where
A13
do I
broken
sell
LCDs.
these?
Tony, let me know how much you pay,
bro.
bro.
I get 100 and I get 100. Last price I checked was $180 for a iPhone 15 Pro Max, good LCD. $180.
Yeah,
he's talking
iPhone though,
about
not Android, not iPhone, not
Oh,
Android though.
Samsung's too, of course.
No, no, no,
No,
no,
I
like
mean,
broken
bad
everything.
OLED.
Broken
Broken.
everything.
Oh,
Bad.
broken everything. I think the price I'm getting for hold on, I can get you the
It's
exact.
probably
They're not,
per
they're not
pound.
pennies. They're not pennies. They're dollars.
It's probably per pound.
No.
No?
I was really referring to
Wow.
A series. I have a bunch of A series.
I'm trying to find this guy from New Jersey. He drives down here, and
And I have to reiterate this again. It's beyond my understanding how this is not full with a bunch of other business owners. That is insane to me because they're all complaining in these chats, and I'm lost. Oh shit.
Yeah, honestly, this is like the
you.
most people we've had on the call in a while too.
This is always a great call. Every Friday is a great call now. Ever since like a month ago. Josh just smiling. He goes, "Oh yeah, I made this happen. You guys are welcome."
See, I wanted to say I was trying to say this earlier. I think a lot of people don't realize that there's a max output from one person also. So a lot of these shops are owner operated and they say they're slow or sometimes they're behind on work and they find that they're just kind of like grinding over and over and over. And they're also trying to be price competitive. So they're trying to knock out price from their competitors. So they're only making 40, $50 per repair, and they're only getting a handful of repairs per day because only one person can handle so many repairs a day. Even if you're the fastest person in the world, maybe you have computers that are coming in or things that take a little bit longer for diagnostic work, and you're spending, half your day doing diag work and half your day actually doing repairs. And at the end of the day, they're like, my numbers aren't matching up. Only one person can only do so much, especially if you're an owner operator, because you have to do all the extra stuff at
I
the time that
agree.
you're just like confident enough to just hire someone to get them in and show them the ropes, teach them everything, then you have the ability to actually go out and market your business. Because otherwise you're just sitting there trying to get people to come in. You're doing the free posts on Facebook, or you're finding out how much more money you need to spend on Google Ads to get people in, but you're not actually going out and like developing relationships in your community. You're not doing things that are sustainable without trading cash for more customers. And so we saw a post not too long ago of a guy who said he was making like 65K a year, and he's like, "Oh, the business is kind of slow, and I don't really know what to do."
That guy drove me
And
insane.
and I'm like, why don't you just hire a person? Like, even if you're making that much, hire a person at minimum or whatever you can afford to hire somebody at the start just to get somebody in, start developing your SOPs, start developing a good program for training that person, getting them up to speed, having them do the repairs that are taking the time up in your day. And then you can go out and actually build your business. You'll find that depending on the person, you can do a lot more by actually having an employee, where most people feel like I can't hire an employee because they're not going to do stuff the way I want to do it. No one can run the business the way I run it. If you continue to think that way, like you can, honestly, you'll cap at two people too. It just kind of depends on what you're doing. But like I see our queue and I see that, our guys are grinding at repairs as much as possible, but we're like not catching up on the queue, and like sales aren't really going up. We've kind of reached a cap. Like that's the point. I have to hire somebody or figure out if we're going slow on some of the tickets or whatever it is. But like I can
Well,
tell when
that's my
it's time to
problem,
hire another
Jason.
person because
I found
we're
my
just not
cap.
we're not pushing out repairs, and yeah, you've capped as far as your output. So a lot of people are capped because of their output, but their output is that they're owner operated and they have to do so many other things versus just repairs and sales and making the numbers, do what they need to do. They need to hire somebody and actually become a business owner and not just be self-employed, because like as a self-employer, you're only going to be able to do so much by yourself.
Once you
Build
get that
relationships
busy,
with your
you should be
carrier
able to hire.
stores. Build relationships with your carrier stores. The one thing that changed my business, like I've doubled my gross revenue every single year. The one thing that changed my business is like my first year, I didn't really do much. I installed Windows on people's computers for like $20 and learned that that was not the way. Um, but we went to Batteries Plus and we built a relationship with them once. I swear to God, from this day, they send me 30 to 40% of our revenue a month just from one Batteries Plus location. 45 minutes away, there's another Batteries Plus location that also sends people to us, even though they're 45 minutes away. So building relationships is honestly the biggest thing. If you're slow, pick up, go buy some donuts at Walmart or something and go take them out. People love donuts and people love pizza.
Yeah,
Can,
that's
can
the
I
number
touch
one thing we
base
do in our
on?
city.
I think was it you, Jason, that you said store owner has so much to do. In my opinion, there is no limit. There is no. I do anything, everything, and all of the things. If you put a limit to what you can do,
No, no,
you're
no.
pretty much.
I'm not saying they're limited in what they can do. I'm saying they're limited in output because there's only so many hours in the day and there's only so much you can do physically as one person. You cannot repair 10 phones and sell 10 phones
And
and
yes,
repair
yes, you
10
can. Do you
can.
know
iPads and
You
how?
10
Wait,
can.
wait, wait,
MacBooks.
wait. Yes, you can. Do you
I
know
can.
how? Hire someone that can.
That's what I'm saying, Tony. I'm saying one person can only have so much output. So once you reach that max, you need to hire someone in.
But
Otherwise, your
but but you
business
know
can't
how one
grow.
person can actually control 100, so you don't have a limit to
No,
what one person can do. I know what you're saying physically. I know what you're saying, but don't limit yourself to anything. Have no ceiling. And if you think that way, like I've given an example. People said, "Hey man, I cannot afford more than 10 repairs a day. I can't sell phones because I do repairs." If you are able to extend, for example, I'm a business owner. Am I willing to work 9 to 9? Absolutely. Do I go home at 6 p.m.? Hell no. Do sometimes I go home at 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. and 1 a.m.? Yes, I am a business owner. I don't have no schedule. My only schedule is show me where the money is at, and I'm behind you. And that's how I'm able to hire people. That's how I'm able to buy properties, and that's how I'm able to do this phone call, because I have people doing what I could have done. So I control. One person can control an empire, man. I
We're
mean,
saying the same thing, by the way.
By the way, you guys are saying the same thing, but at the same time, it sounds easy. All right, you've been doing something so long, Tony, so it comes off easy. I've been doing something so long. I was raised a certain way, so it seems easy and basic for me. But for most people out there, they cannot do these things. They cannot be one. They can't do 10 things at once.
And
Um,
they don't want to take on the risk of bringing someone in when they're only seeing $65,000 a year coming through because they can't see the bigger picture of what's
That
going to
doesn't make any
happen
sense.
once you
But
get that person coming in.
that also goes back to the beginning. Before you opened your door for business, these are the things you have to think about. You have to understand where it's coming from. But most people don't understand that or don't do that. But if you don't do that, you're signing yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
That's why I say a lot of these business owners they're actually technicians. They're not business owners. They should not be business. You should go work
Yes.
for someone, and you'll have less stress, and you probably be bringing in more income for the business and yourself.
Yeah.
But
I think I think I think if you don't know something, hire someone that does. You know what I mean?
Again, you have to have the knowledge. You have to have the knowledge to do that.
But you got to understand, not everyone has the same personality as me and you, for example. You know what I mean? I consider myself aggressive. I consider myself out there. I consider myself very straightforward. Some people, like you said, they're technicians, which means it's not a bad thing, but this is just what they specialize in, or this is what their hobby is. I don't know how to repair phones, believe it or not, but I don't. Like last time I repaired a phone was a 5S maybe, and it took me maybe like 2 hours. So you got to understand that it's okay to know one thing of your industry or what you do, but you must have someone else who can complete the puzzle. And I think that's why there's like always partners, and there's and you said earlier, Dex, hire a good CPA, and we were talking to Chris about that last time.
If you need to, correct.
Yes, we were talking to Chris about that last time. You could be making $100,000, but you could not be seeing profit, or you could be making $30,000 and probably seeing $15,000 profit.
Yep.
So it's really numbers, like Dex was saying, numbers. People lie, numbers don't. And if it makes money, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes money.
It's all
your job is to not be your job is to not be the smartest person in the room. And if you are, then shame on you.
Good.
Your job is there's three things to add on to Tony a little bit. You can either delegate, automate, or eliminate. That's where your focus should be.
Yep.
100%.
100%.
Because then you can end up with the best January you've ever had at $190,000 like I did.
That's fucking awesome. And I just want to say,
God bless, man.
You can actually do a lot with your time in this industry. Okay. Because I do.
I mean, shit. I was late. Sorry, Dak. Didn't mean to interrupt. I was just gonna say, when you could do you can do a lot of good stuff with your time. I mean, shit. I'm late to the call, but I was, my daughter's had a dance observation, and I was able to walk away from the stores and actually go do that and enjoy that time with my family. And, now that it's done, I'm hopping back on the call and going back to work.
Very simple. Very simple. Remote operation is the way to go. That's how I operate my business. Can I go on a vacation for a month? I do. And do I work remotely? Yes, I do. I take my boy for a soccer game twice a week, and nobody feels. I got 4 kids, just so you guys know. Like, the people that maybe see me active online may think that I do not spend time with my kids. Saturday, Sunday are fully to them. But if you make your job and your whole entire business runs off remotely, then you can operate really remotely. I go home maybe 5, 6. I come whenever I want to. I spend enough time with my family. I watch them grow. And my empire, if you would call it, still is on autopilot. I use the wireless industry as a cash cow, and I guess by now everyone knows I own Holy Fry. Don't put your balls in one basket. That's the way I do it. I've seen people, and I think we spoke about this last time, Chris. I don't mean to put your business out there, but you said that on the video. You said you got money in the bank sitting. You know what I mean? That money, it could be, like I said, a down payment for a $200,000 house. And the $200,000 house maybe bring you $2,000 to $3,000 a month. You got $40,000, $50,000 sitting in the bank. That money, it's not going to have babies. You know what I mean? It's not going nowhere. That's just, It loses its value every single day it's sitting in the bank. So invest into something else. If you would like to invest into another business, just be careful, because you have to understand what creates the biggest problems between partnerships are unstable businesses, which means me and Jason could be partners in a business that could bring $10,000 a month. We're both happy for a whole year as long as we're making $10,000 a month. But me and Jason are not going to be good on good terms if the business is negative $5,000. So that's when problems do happen. So remember this: when you want to partner with people, you also need to choose the right business to partner with people. If you want to partner, I can go to Josh and tell him, hey man, give me 500,000. I have 500,000. Let's buy 10 houses, for example. The 10 houses income is consistent. It's the same damn income every single month. Me and Josh will not talk to each other once every 2 years, but the money is going to the bank account every single month. Consistency without no ups, no downs. And that's when, feuds, and that's when problems happen, is when you're dealing with a partner in a retail store. And unfortunately for us, our industry is like a gold industry. You can get rich or die trying. You know what I mean? Like, you really ain't going nowhere. If you have the wrong person sitting where Dex is at, you're fucked. Because all he has to do is put a screen in his pocket every day, put a phone in his pocket every day. I've had that happen to us.
Numbers.
Yes.
Numbers.
Yes. So it's just that base of the business you have to control. And then from there, you control the entire income.
But Tony, I can't keep my money in the bank, or I need to keep my money in the bank. They told me I get 1%.
By the way, Tony.
Yeah, right. 1%. What does that 1% do?
You are an anomaly. Your mindset is not most people's mindset. So most of the other business owners, especially in this industry, are not thinking the way.
But at least we're willing to give back, Dex. I'm willing to give back, because I believe that if there's enough successful people out there in our industry, number one, they're going to buy devices from me. Okay, so it benefits me business-wise. Number two, they are not going to start. I hate to see people going out of business. And I've seen so many along the years. And I can't stress it enough on how many people I actually helped them to get into the device business. And they launched. They really made it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't call one person that I told him, hey, buy and sell devices. From times where he wasn't buying and selling devices, and he came back and said, hey, Tony, man, I can't sell them. You know what I mean? Like, he launched 2 locations, 3 locations, 4 locations to some guys that I've remembered that they used to work 7 days a week, and now they go to their store on Tuesday. You know what I mean? They're chilling, So you just got to follow certain procedures. You can't take the parts you like, and you got to understand this. The bundle that I'm giving you and the advice that I'm giving you, you have to follow the 10 steps. You can't say, oh man, my kids, I have kids and I gotta go to 3 p.m. Bro, we all got kids, man. But who's gonna pay for their food in schools? If you don't sacrifice, you will not, you're not gonna get rich. So you have to make choices. And I am a high school graduate, guys. I didn't even go to college. So maybe that's fresh information for you guys. I was born and raised outside of this country. So maybe that's another thing. You have to understand, it's a full bundle that you get, and you have to follow the proper steps for you to achieve something. You can't say, oh, I don't work on weekends and expect yourself to get rich. You can't say, which I get a lot of people say, like, it would be a literally $100,000 phone call, and somebody says, "Oh, I'm with family right now. I'm putting my daughter to sleep." Bro, opportunities comes when you least expect them. I mean, that's in English, So, common sense.
I want to reiterate this again. Most people cannot think the way you're thinking because they never even took a risk. But they probably never even bought a stock, a crypto, just even a home. You know what I mean? Just take that risk to see what is possible out there. You know, I'm building a home in Sebring right now. It's 2.5 hours from Miami. I mean, tell you.
You know, I lived in Winter Haven, right? I was
Oh, you're a
born and
brave
raised,
man.
was raised in Winter Haven.
Awesome. So it's I'm able to, you know, I got my family's business, a few different things. My mind stays busy, but it's because my mind can stay busy because I know it's possible. I know it's possible. Tony, you know it's possible. You've tried this, you dip and dabble in a few different things. Most people have not. Most people are very, very scared. It's like, you know, when you tell your friend, hey, invest in this company or this crypto, the stock or whatever it may be, and they're like, no, no, no. You can show them your gains. Look, over the years, look what I've done. They're still scared to take the jump. It's
How
just
many
what it is.
times people like us hit rock bottom? So many. I can't even count. I cannot even count.
By the way, because of what I know, I can lose everything and I'm gonna be just fine.
You make it.
I hate to say that, knock on wood, but it's because I know it's possible. Like I can't just sit and do nothing. That's not a possibility. There's so much opportunity right out there. So much. That's all.
Tony, may I
Think
ask?
money don't make money.
Tony, may I ask how many hours you put in per week approximately?
I don't work for the paycheck. I don't count. I
I'm
don't
gonna answer
really
for him.
count. I don't count, honestly. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I come to work at 8 in the morning, leave at 8 at night. Sometimes I come to work at 11 in the morning, leave at 3. Sometimes I don't come. Like I really don't count. Like never, never. And sometimes I would have a meeting that I would go to a hookah lounge, leave at 2 in the morning. But I do spend, if you ask me possibly how many hours I spend with my kids, possibly about an hour and a half, 2 a day. On the weekends, 12 hours each Friday, each Saturday and Sunday. And I take him out maybe twice a week, you know, which I spend time. And this is not even to mention the probably 3 hours, 4 hours on the soccer field with my son. Movie nights, ice cream days, you know, I do, but I don't count business hours because I never work for a dollar, man. I work for results. I work for goals. What really motivates me, honestly, is mom would say, adopt me. Come in, come. I'll let you play some soccer. But I'm the kind of guy who probably like if I had a good year, for example, I'll take myself shopping. You know what I mean? I'll go buy something expensive for myself. You know what I mean? And whatever, that's how I treat myself. And literally, like I personally treat myself. You know what I mean? And probably for a lot of people, treating yourself is your watch, your shoes, your car. So it's got to be one of these three where I treat myself. And that's how I keep myself motivated. It's like, hey, you got a goal, you have to hit it. Make sure you don't piss off people. Never cheat people because karma is a bitch. I believe in karma. So just stay true to myself. And based on this, and I believe in unity. So, for example, for those who don't know, I have 2 brothers who are my partners. So we deal like one team. We're all as a team. Each one is responsible for a specific thing in our business, and we trust each other. We don't ask each other questions. At the end of the month, here's my cut. Here's your cut. Here's your cut. Have a nice day. For those who don't have brothers, hire one.
I don't have brothers.
You have brothers, he said,
No.
John?
No.
Well, I'll take you. You made that face like, come on, man, you need a hug, bro. But look, have I seen rich, like I know people in Tampa who don't have brothers and they are multi-billionaires. I know people that they have brothers and they're poor as shit. But it's not just the brother thing. It's more of the clean soul. I don't know how to translate that in English, but it's more of work clean. You know what I mean? Like I don't doubt my brothers or my partners. And I've seen people who has brothers that they work for them. And I've seen people who have brothers that are partners up with, and I've seen more partners than brothers that are successful. But people don't want to see you united with your partner, or your business partner. So a lot of people will try to get in between, and that's how people start losing business, money, and all. And I think just keeping your business to yourself and work hard. Don't look at time, and I think that's how you get rich.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you, Tony. I don't keep track of time at all. You know, sometimes I go home. I mean, I'll leave the store at 6 when the store closes if I'm in the store, just to go home because my wife has she does her extracurriculars in the evening, right? So mine's during the day, hers is in the evening. And so I'll go home and the kids are doing their schoolwork, or you know they're playing together, and I'm on my computer just I'll go working away. Like the last couple of nights, I was up till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, just grinding it. And I don't even personally, I don't even think of it as a negative thing, because I love what I do, right? If you love what you do and you do it every single day, then it's not work. And I think that that's where a lot of people, especially in this industry, kind of fall short a little bit, because they get into it thinking that they're going to grow this huge empire of for themselves, and end up only focusing on the tech side. And that's what the big problem is. They don't want to do the hard shit. They don't want to do the boring shit. Do you think I enjoy doing call review? Fuck no. But guess what? Call review is what with that phone ringing, that's what makes the business money. So I'm going to
Do you
listen to
think
the
there's
phone
a
calls.
gap, like that gap where people? I think that's where people give up. So
Yeah.
you go from an employee to a self-employed business owner, and there's that gap, which probably could take a year, 2, 3, 4, where you have to sacrifice to provide to your family. So I'm sure your family living well, my family living well, you're comfortable, you know what I mean? And that gap where people have to sacrifice the time to maybe a couple of years later provide for their family a good life, and a time for you to spend with your family, a nice house, nice cars, maybe to some people to an extent of you don't want your wife working anymore, or she doesn't have to work anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people give up. It's maybe that gap where the sacrifice, to make sure that you can provide. And I think that's where a lot of people, let's consider it step number 3 and 4 in the ladder. That's where people start going backwards and end up to step number 1, and they give up because they never sacrificed enough. But there is a sacrifice before getting to that level.
Or they don't keep reminding themselves, what are they doing it for? Right? Like what? Like, why did I leave to start this venture to begin with?
Yes, you're right. 100%. I think if you really start thinking about it, hey man, I'm living in a small house, cheap car, whatever. I think 1 or 2 years, it's coming. You know what I mean? You hit rock bottom 10 times. It doesn't matter. You go through your kid's piggy bank. It's done. People do that. This is normal. You know what I mean? And you bank go to zero, but you have to understand that a lot of rich people don't have cash. They have equity. So their bank could be at zero, but they probably have $20-30 million worth of properties, or they have an empire. So it is okay to hit, rock bottom. Like it's just, it's crazy, but like Dex said, there's different people think different ways. But I think that's what's important about this phone call, this video call, or the expos that we go to, is because
mindset.
yeah, exactly. But I believe in karma, so I always try to help, because in one way or another, there's a God and He's gonna help me back. So I'm a big believer in karma. Whatever religion it is, does exist. You know what I mean? So just give away, help people, whatever you can. If you can't help them in money, help them in a lead, in an advice. You know what I mean? There's a saying in Arabic. It says, the person that leads you to like assist you with help is the same, gets the same deed as the one that actually helps you. So let me lead you to help yourself. You know what I mean?
So one of the things, because I love that you brought up community and helping and being able to give back. I'm very big on that as well. And we used to do this, and we're getting ready to crank it back up. But there's a program through a company called B1G1, uh, buy one, give one. Pretty much, it's their slogan is business for good. And so what we do is, like, if a customer checks in a device for diagnostics, we'll make a small donation, and we'll go through the campaigns and kind of pick what it is that the money's being donated to, whether, we're planting trees, we're giving vaccines to kids overseas that can't afford it, we're doing glasses, medical equipment. They have a plethora of things that you can pick from at a very affordable rate. Like $2 can, feed a whole town in Africa.
Mention that it's tax write-off too.
And it is tax write-offable. Exactly. And the cool part about that is, because we partner with them, we're giving all of this pretty cool marketing material that we're able to throw on postcards and, ship that off to our customers, and they get that little letter in the mail. They give us a call. They say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much of an impact my business with you actually made. This is incredible. Do you mind if I can see you? Do you mind if I send my brother or sister in, to get a phone or to buy a computer, or, to fix something? And it's the little things that you do that do make an impact. And a lot of the time it's not for the recognition. But if you do those things, I highly recommend and encourage you to, tell people about it. Let people know about it. Like, hey, if you're donating money because your customers are doing business with you, let your customers know about it. Let the local media know about it. Why? Because that makes your business just look that much better. And people nowadays enjoy that. They enjoy seeing their contribution to you is going somewhere else too.
Yeah. I mean, that the tax write-offs, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do give. Even if you loan money to somebody, you can there's ways where cars are tax write-off, loans are tax write-off, giveaways are tax write-off, gifts are tax write-off. I'm pretty sure most of us pay taxes at the end of the year, and for those who don't, you'll never go nowhere in life. But for those who pay taxes, go buy yourself a pickup truck. You know what I mean? And you're paying taxes at the end of the year. You're giving it to Uncle Sam, so might as well spend it on yourself,
and all those devices that you're recycling that still work, but you don't want to sell them because you think that they're crap, fix them up a little bit, donate them to the local charity group. Guess what? Tax write-off.
Did we mention there's a whole entire industry? It's called recycling. Like it's crazy. And Josh, you've been in the ERC shows before. I mean, there's a whole world out there, and it's not on this level. It's on billions of dollars a level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it works. And believe it or not, I guarantee these people didn't even pay no taxes, because everything they do is green. You know what I mean? So, like, there's so much money that you can save. And I always say, you can make $30,000 in revenue a month, and you can make $25,000 out of that profit in the right numbers, with the right CPA, and you can make $100,000 in revenue a month, and you can make zero. So it's really numbers. It's a good CPA, and I wish everybody just learn, ask questions. And I believe if you don't ask questions, you never learn shit. I've learned what I've learned because I asked the right questions. I speak English because I asked the right questions. I used to, back in 2001, I used to have a dictionary. This fucking thing.
Your hunger is different. You understand? I hate to cut you off. Your hunger is different. You know that. So
yeah. Bro, look, I came to this country in 2000. Zero English. Like zero. What's your name? Yes. Where you from? No. Are you hungry? Maybe. Where are you from? So, like, that's all I knew. You know what I mean? And there were no electronics. I used to carry a dictionary this big. And I went to, I was raised in Winter Haven, and I was the only Arabic student in there where they have ESL classes. They did not have Arabic. So imagine that. You know what I mean? I learned English listening to Eminem and 50 Cent. You know what I mean? So you have to understand, if someone like me made it, and this is true story. I did not come from a rich family. You know, my dad was driving a cargo van, a Chevrolet Express 2500 that I still currently own. I wrapped it with Celfix, and it's sitting in front of my store with a active registration and an active tag, and it's drivable. I drove it 3 months ago. But it's the year, it's 2000, so it's 25 years old. You know what I mean? But those are like, imagine that I'm paying registration for a van that's parked in front of my store. But what comes out of that? What comes out of that is I used to put plastic chairs in the back of that cargo van to go to Walmart with my dad. I used to sit on the boxes on the back of that van to go to Albertsons or Walmart or to try to buy groceries. So we all came from a different place. I wore the same pants for 6 months in 2001 from Walmart. It used to zip to become a short, and then you zip it back to become a pants. So we didn't all get rich, man, you know, but it's literally get rich or die trying. And my kids go to private schools now. I speak English. I own businesses, and I'm nice to people. Have I seen shitty people who told me scrub the fucking ground or the floor or go clean the toilet? No shame in the game. I still scrub the ground. I still clean the toilet now. Doesn't matter. I change my kids' diapers. What the fuck? But at the end of the day, I choose my lifestyle. It wasn't chosen for me. I choose my line of work. I choose how I run my family. I choose what kind of car I drive. And I choose to come here and help people. So
I was going to say, it's always important to never forget where you came from and the struggles that you've been through. And because once you do that, then you're ego driven. People won't respect you. And I tell you what, my team respects the hell out of somebody who can roll up their sleeves, grab a mop, and mop the floors when nobody's busy or when the store's not busy. And they see that. And it motivates them that the boss is working.
Yes. Yes.
100% true. There's nothing too good for you to do as a business owner. And your story is fucking awesome, Tony. I'm the youngest of 5. My family owns a family business that my brothers are running currently. So I understand a lot of your...
Where are you originally from?
Well, I'm born and raised in Miami, but I'm Haitian. My background is Haitian.
There
you go. That's why I completely understand your hustle, Tony. I get it completely. And that's why most people, especially, you know, they can't do what you do. It's easy to say, "Oh, do this, do it." They can't do it.
But I think if you don't hit rock bottom, you're not gonna taste the rock bottom. You're never gonna taste it. You know what I mean? Was I selling hats at my high school? I did. I sold fake chains. Guys.
I know you did. I know you.
My backpack was full of hats, chains, and lighters. The highest I've made in high school was $700 in one day.
Again, look at the homeless problem in this country. It's all mindset. All right. You can never be homeless because your mindset is trained properly. You know what I mean? You know, you read, you educate yourself. You're listening to podcasts. You know, you do things like this. You know, even coming here, I was happy to be here because I got to learn and listen to so many different things. You know, from people in the same industry. I'm still shocked. Hopefully next week or whenever you guys do this again, there's more people here.
Every Friday.
The people who really need to hear this are not here, and it blows my mind.
Well, we're gonna
I
be in
digress.
Miami on May at the GRE, so you better
I'll be
come.
there. Oh yeah, no, I love those things. It's Miami. You know what I mean?
Take me
I'm
to
from
Little
Miami.
Haiti. Yeah, I know, right?
A lot of
No,
people
I
may
mean,
not understand,
it's
but you in
how many
Florida, so you
stores you
understand.
got, Dex?
Huh?
How many stores you got?
Only one. Only one.
One. How long you been
So
open?
I have this and I have a payment center in my family's business, but which is why I'm looking to acquire a store. Because here's my thing. I've been wanting to open a second location for a long time, but
Yeah.
the way this baby is running, I'd be a fool to think I can open another location and it's going to do the same thing. It's not. It's going to take a while to build up your customer base, to build up, just being known. Um, and that's a huge risk because money. So I've been halting on just opening another store. But if I can take another store over, it's a different project for me, a different excitement for me. Uh, but starting from scratch and building new clientele, I don't think it's good.
It's depressing. It
Yeah,
is
I'll tell you.
depressing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you that off of experience. We were
Bye bye. Thank you.
we were smart, and we thought, okay, there's this booming retirement community. These old folks, they got money. They're gonna want to fix shit. It's gonna be great. We opened up the store brand new, didn't acquire from anybody. With upkeep or upfit and everything else. A little over, a little over 100 grand up front, and yeah, 5 years, and then after that 5 years, we decided to close it and fold it into another location, which was 20 minutes up the road, and another city because, well, for one, we did a shit job of market research. The customers, they would much rather take up our time and not want to pay us, um, and or go to Costco and buy a replacement because they got that fancy membership. And so, definitely a lot of lessons learned. But if there's one big thing that I've learned is, when we have grown or acquired, the more money that or the most money that we've made is when we acquired another business versus opening up another location.
I've been doing
So
a lot of research on
don't
that. Why?
Do you know
Did
if
you make
it's
that 100 back, by the
you
way, in the 5 years? I gotta
over
ask.
the 5 years, no.
Okay, I had to ask. All right. Damn.
No, it was that.
Nathan, do you know that currently the industry requires you to have more location to balance the same income that I don't know how long you've been in the industry, Nathan.
I've been in for about 10 years.
Okay, so currently you probably would need to have 3+ locations to probably make the same amount of profit they used to make 10 years ago or 9 years ago. So
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason why a lot of us are expanding is to balance the income that we used to make a while ago. We had stores that used to make $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
And now probably need about 2 to 3 stores to make that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now my franchisees do make 30 to 40 a month per store net profit. And that's part of the reason why we shrunk down to 6 owner operator and 8 franchisees locations out of total of 14.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good point, but I also think, instead of focusing on location, what a lot of people should focus on is, how to maximize what they currently have. Because before you even consider expanding, you really should look at your operation and see what else can you offer your customers. Are you doing, are you doing buybacks and sales? Are you doing, computer repair? Are you getting into micro soldering? And even at that point, like, do you have the capability to take on even more and kind of, I will tell you, there is a huge market for, it's called Soho in the tech industry, for the IT industry, but small office, home office area, where a lot of small operations with less than 10 employees can't afford to pay a huge MSP firm, but they'll pay you, five, six, $700 a month to handle all of their maintenance and their security. And so, what are you doing to, max out your company? I mean, like I mentioned earlier in the call, we had our best month ever last month. about 190,000. And that was with 2 locations.
Nice.
Imagine what we could do if we did open up a third.
And was that all retail, or was that more some online sales and B2B?
Well, yeah. So that was a mixture of repairs, online sales, and managed services.
Okay.
When you say managed services,
IT services.
Okay. So you have contracts with companies that you manage their IT work?
Not just companies, but I think our revenue right now is about 70, 30, 70% businesses, 30% residential customers.
Okay. Nice.
If I'm going to fix your computer, I don't need to put Norton, Avast, or AVG on that shit. Yeah. I'll sell you the same stuff I put on a business computer. And that way, guess what? Now I have your data. If I know that Windows 10 is losing support in October, and you have a computer that doesn't support it, Windows 11, I'm going to call your ass and sell you a computer to upgrade you.
How old is your oldest employee? How old? Like how long they've been with you?
About 6 years.
Nice.
And I got one who is about 5 years and 6 months. Or no, yeah, 5 years and 6 months, and he's actually leaving next week to go into the service. But
so you've had a decent ROI with employees.
100%.
If I say what's my turnaround with employees, you're gonna laugh your ass out.
That's why
probably 6 months.
It can't happen yet because
6 or 7 months, man. It's pretty bad in Florida, to be honest.
Finding another location. I mean, opening one from the scratch is hard to find people to turn. It's
I think Dex, this is a Florida thing. It's like I've spoken to so many people in different states. They don't struggle like this with employees. It's a Florida issue.
Oh no, it's definitely a Florida thing. It's many reasons as to why that is, but definitely a Florida thing for sure.
Yeah. Nice to see you. Nice night to everybody. Florida is considered to be the #1 fraud state in the U.S. So everybody's making money, but everybody's not working.
I was gonna say that's why SEMA shut one of your stores down.
Exactly? Yes, exactly. And it's true. Customers are not paying, and that's what Chris earlier from Savannah Doctor was talking about. He sold 100 phones, and there's one customer that ended up selling it to Eco ATM. If it was in my case, it would have been 99 phones sold to Eco ATM with that finance company. So it is risky. It is a state thing. And I mean, we found a solution, lucky for us, and it is franchising. You know what I mean? And we went from struggling with 13 locations to manage to now still struggling with 6 locations to manage. But I got 8 out of my back. You know what I mean? We are looking for motivated individuals that are currently looking to start their career. Let's call it this way. Start your career under my supervision. You know what I mean? And you can come and you can ask every single franchisee who has either purchased a Selfix or was my ex-employee and purchased a Selfix. You can ask them directly. You can go sit down with them, see their business, see how they operate. I currently do have one store for sale. It's a Selfix, of course, and it's a franchisee deal. So if anybody wants to move to Tampa or anybody that's looking, I am pitching a deal for somebody. Let's go this way. I'm pitching an opportunity for somebody right now. It's a win-win situation. I had an employee, and I've spoken about this, that was making $5,000 a month. I mean, a month as an employee. He was making about $1,200 a week. Now, this kid is 22 years old, owns 5 Selfix locations, and make $90,000 to $100,000 net a month. What is he driving? $120,000 car. What is his watch? Is a $40,000 watch. How long he been an owner? 2 years. So it's possible. I just need people to follow the plan. That's it.
By the way, that guy's a hustler. I see him on Instagram.
Cali kid, right?
Again, another anomaly. It's hard.
He's so fire. He was my employee for 3 years.
Okay.
He was my employee for 3 years, and this kid is hungry. You see how hungry he is, But but he made it. He went from a $5,000 payroll a month to 100. Good for him. You know what I mean?
Well, guys, thank you for this talk. I'm going to head off now. But I truly enjoyed this, and I will be on the next one. I hope more of the shop owners are here because there's $1 million worth of game right here. I'm really shocked.
Yeah.
What
Well,
hell?
the video gets saved and gets played on the group still, so hopefully
Okay, good.
they'll see it during their free time. It is Friday,
No,
remember that. So a
I
lot of
say that
pros
because they have so many questions, and you have all the answers.
Don't, I try to help. If anyone have any questions, seriously, I do reply to all my I have 56 emails on my phone and I have 0 unread. So that tells you a lot about my personality. So if you message me, I definitely will reply.
And one last thing, it's funny you just mentioned that because I respond to every email, every text, every phone call, right? Just pick it up.
Yes.
And people I know that operate at high levels, I'm always like, how do you, they're answering, they're responding. And then I look at some people that also know other shop owners were not, they say they're backed up, this and that. Backed up with what? You don't want it. You seriously just don't want it.
It's crazy when you message people and it takes them 2 days to reply back. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what is it that's so important? And he would be the guy that goes in the group and said, "Oh my God, it's slow."
I'm done. Good day, guys. Exactly.
All right, guys, stay safe. I guess Josh probably out, but we'll disconnect here. Have a good weekend.